Herbs and Spices. Foods offer complex experiences for the senses. When composing a new dish, a cook must first understand that more than just taste should be considered. The senses of sight, smell, taste, and touch all come into play. Consider how we perceive these characteristics of a dish. Appearance, such as color and color contrast, shape, shine, and arrangement on the plate. Aroma, taste. Mouthfeel, such as texture, moistness or dryness, softness or crispness, and temperature. All of these factors are important to making a dish appealing to the diner. People eat because they enjoy the flavors of good food, not because they just fill their stomachs to stay alive. Appearance, texture, and nutrition are important, but good taste is the first mark of good cooking. Enhancement and adjustment of flavors are among a cook's most critical tasks, one requiring experience and judgment. The most important flavors of a given preparation are those of its main ingredients. A grilled beef tenderloin steak should taste like beef. Green beans should taste like green beans. Tomato soup should taste primarily of tomato. Plain, unseasoned foods, however, usually taste a little bland and one-dimensional. So it is the cook's job to add interest by combining ingredients to build depth of flavor. The harmony of ingredient flavors and aromas the cook creates by combining ingredients skillfully is generally called flavor profile. There are no fixed rules for combining flavors. When you're developing or modifying a recipe, think about the following points. Every ingredient should have a purpose. Ingredients can work together by harmonizing or contrasting. When two ingredients contrast, be sure they balance. Consider not only the components of the single recipe, but also the other items that will be served on the plate. Spices and herbs have been used in foods for centuries. Archaeologists estimate that by 25,000 BC, primitive man had discovered that parts of certain aromatic plants help make food taste better. Spices were once so costly only the wealthy could afford them. In 11th century Europe, many towns paid their taxes and rents in pepper. Most of Roman trade centered on spices from China traveling the Silk Road, and by sea from India and Africa. Cinnamon was one of the most valuable, followed by pepper, ginger, and cardamom. Taxes on spices created massive wealth for many nations. Cinnamon was used to mask the smell of burning flesh at cremations. Oregano and mint were used by the Greeks. Europe's spices were controlled by the Italian Medici family in Florence. The reason for Columbus's voyage in 1492 was to seek a more direct passage to the rich spices of the Orient. Much of the wealth of the Dutch Empire came from their colonies, the Dutch East India Company, and the Spice Islands in Indonesia. The British colonized India and formed the British East India Company. The British and the Dutch went to war over control of spice, and the British lost, but gained a colony in North America, which they named New York. Herbs are leaves of low-growing shrubs. For example, parsley, chives, marjoram, thyme, basil, caraway, dill, oregano, rosemary, savory, sage. These can be used fresh or dried. Dried forms may be whole, crushed, or ground. Spices come from the bark, root, buds, seeds, berry, or the fruit of tropical plants and trees. Many dehydrated vegetable seasonings are available, including onion, garlic, and shallots. Seasoning blends are mixtures of herbs and spices.
That was awesome.